All right, welcome people. Welcome to No Decorum.
The place for politics.
AJ.
I'm Daniel. And on the show today, election 2020, healthcare, Obama's book, and if you stay to the end, a special feature. Maybe. All right, so how do we look, AJ? Election 2020.
Well,
It's still ongoing, huh?
it's still going, and we don't know who won.
We don't know who won, and we're 40 lawsuits in. And if you're on Donald Trump's side, there's no clear winner yet.
Legal challenges repeatedly failing and key states starting to certify Joe Biden's win. President Trump tonight again falsely claiming victory during a briefing on drug prices.
Big Pharma ran millions of dollars of negative advertisements against me during the campaign, which I won, by the way, but, we'll find that out.
Not yet.
Just based on the lawsuits.
He still has hope.
He's hoping for change.
I hope.
He's hoping for change in the outcome. So, while most of the world recognizes Joe Biden as the president-elect, Donald Trump is still clinging feverishly to this fantasy that he'll somehow pull out a win.
Well, you gotta have hope.
You got to have hope.
You gotta have hope and dreams and
evidence of fraud, that would help as well.
That would work in the court system.
Instead, what do you have? You have Bush and Trump-appointed judges throwing out lawsuit after lawsuit for lack of evidence. And on Trump's side, you have Giuliani and his lawyers saying that, no, it's not a fraud case. We're not suggesting fraud occurred, while telling news conferences that it is about fraud.
Well, in a news conference, you're not in a court, so you're not lying.
Yeah, you're right.
In a court, if you say that, then you're lying, and you can be disbarred.
Yeah, disbarred.
And they lose your license.
Speaking of Barr, William Barr has also come out and said there is no evidence of widespread voter fraud which could overturn the election.
Really? That's his guy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's his guy. That's his number one guy, his pit bull. And reporting suggests that Trump was not too pleased with that statement. So
I'm surprised he didn't send him to shooting squad.
which they're trying to reinstitute. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right. So as it stands now, Biden is president-elect. And
for some people.
For some people. Maybe not 74 million people, but for the rest of us, yeah.
Yes.
He did pull this one out, just barely.
The ones that live in reality.
Yeah. And
still believe in democracy.
Yeah. Yeah, luckily we still have enough of those. January 20th, he'll take his oath, and Trump will be...
If he's still alive.
Escorted out. Yeah, if he's still alive. Trump will be escorted out of the White House, either voluntarily or otherwise. And we'll have to watch the Biden presidency unfold.
I mean, actually, I would like to see him dragged out of there. I mean, that would be ultimate Christmas present, I guess you can say, for next year.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm asking for. In my stocking.
Yeah, I mean that would be just an epic show. Him being dragged out of there. The movers are there. They just pick him up and put him in the same truck that his stuff is going in.
And he would be the beneficiary of his law and order rhetoric, wouldn't he?
Well,
I mean, that's a good thing, and that's what he campaigned on, right? Law and order.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we know that he's not gonna probably go to inauguration.
Yeah,
he's not gonna invite Biden to the White House. Probably not.
Probably not. That would take a much bigger person to do that, much more mature person. We don't expect that from Donald Trump.
No, we don't, because we already saw him at the children's table the other day.
It seems to be like the older he gets, the more infantile his brain gets. It's very strange. It's like a weird inverse, but yeah, and that's fine. Again, it's a formality. You don't need to be there.
He doesn't.
You don't need to invite the president-elect. That's okay. Yeah. So let's.
Well, the other day he did say that if electoral college, certifies the election, then he'll leave. He kind of gave himself an out.
And that's a conditional statement. If they
Yeah.
certify,
Yeah.
well, it's not like he has a choice either way. He's
No.
that is defined by the Constitution. So
Yeah. I mean, either way, he's leaving.
yeah, either way he's leaving. Yeah, and that'll be the closing chapter of that that story,
Of the national nightmare.
the national nightmare, and then he'll be an auxiliary somewhere on the fringe, at his, I guess, news network, his competition for Fox News. Maybe he'll, I don't know, maybe he'll overtake One America News, and
Didn't he say that he's going to start his own network or something?
he did, a direct competitor to Fox News, who he feels betrayed him by calling Arizona too early.
Oh, for actually reporting real news?
Yeah, unfortunately, you can't do that when you're in for Trump all the way. You can't do that. I've talked to many conservatives who are towing the same line that Fox News has turned against Donald Trump, and I said, well, why do you say that? I said, well, I mean, you saw they called Arizona too early, right? So there's no real numbers on that as far as what if their positions are changing in any way. But that's what they say, and Trump said it as well. And when Trump says it, that's gospel. So in their minds,
of course.
yeah.
I mean, he's the standard for truth. So,
Yeah, he certainly is.
yeah.
And so because of that, I think, do we have numbers on Fox News? It's losing interest of Republicans, I think.
Yes. According to the ratings, Fox News ratings are down by 13%. Yeah.
And this is from almost seemingly from one day to the next. So before Election Day and then on Election Day,
yeah.
something must have happened that turned people off to the idea of Fox News.
What was it? Calling the election for Biden?
Yeah, you don't do that. You don't do that until. So yeah, that was our first mistake. I mean, trying to report news, factually, that's a no-no. I think we know that by now.
Isn't Fox News also trying to pay him off?
I heard that. So as not to have him as a competitor in a rival news organization. I use the term news lightly, by the way.
What was the amount?
$100 million?
$100 million.
$100 million.
I mean, but
Allegedly.
he's a real billionaire. I mean, what is he going to do with $100 million?
Yeah, you're right. Certainly not pay off the debt that he owes of his own private debt. I'm sure it wouldn't go to that. But
I don't think so. I don't think he needs that kind of money.
But I think it's clear that he would make more money with a network than he would taking this payout.
Yeah, I mean, I would think so. I mean, $100 million is nothing.
Yeah.
But then again, as we know him, he is kind of lazy.
It's true.
He really doesn't like to work. I mean, we know that for a fact because he's, in the White House, he rarely reads his daily briefings.
He does.
Well, actually, he doesn't read them at all.
No, I think, they're regurgitated for him.
Yeah,
Other people absorb it, regurgitate to him in bite-sized pieces he can understand,
yeah.
and then he tweets the rest of the day.
Those are all poop tweets, actually.
Yeah, poop tweets. I think, he certainly delegated to other people. You would imagine he would anyway, and that would take care of the laziness part. On the other hand, I think he does have some pretty secure backing for a news organization. Something on the order of maybe $200 million from investors. I think I read that somewhere. So,
yeah, I mean,
It should
even
get
then,
out
I
there.
think it's going to take even more money because to set up a real network
Oh, sure.
is going to take a lot more money. This may be online.
I was going to say it may start online, which
Yeah.
is much less expensive.
Yeah.
Much more flexibility.
Yeah.
So that may be the case.
I mean, maybe he copied our system right here.
Well, this is pretty high-end podcast. It's unlikely to be able to replicate that in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
But we are professionals, so Certainly
Well,
consult if we need to.
He can sure hire those people that are trying to vote illegally. That lady that was arrested.
Right. She was arrested for requesting a ballot for her dead mother. Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, like I was saying, it's probably the case that her mother's dying wish was to vote for President Trump.
Yeah.
And the daughter's merely trying to fulfill that wish.
Yeah. I mean, she was just obeying her mother.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. She's her mother's personal Make-A-Wish Foundation. But as we know, that's not fraud. Because
That's
fraud
not
only
fraud,
occurs
no.
on the Democratic side.
Yes. I mean,
Yeah. So
even if you get arrested, it's not really fraud.
it's not really fraud.
I mean, these people are going after freedom-loving Americans.
That's right.
Yeah.
Who only want to see their rightful president
There are fewer.
retain his throne.
Yes.
Yeah, so that it's not going well for them so far.